What is going on? You're listening to episode 172 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2 on this one. Mel, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Oh, good. Well, I told her one day we're going to hear her say, great, but she said not today, so.
No, not today. Not anytime soon, probably. Maybe someday, you know.
Not anytime soon. Wow. All right. Well, hey, that music you just heard is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels or Ready Player One. The chair I'm sitting in from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP Seat. You automatically save $10 at checkout. And if you're a bearded brother, like myself, you want to take care of that mane, go to n64josh.com/beard. Check out some of the beard oils from the Beard Club. All right, it's good stuff. I use the sandalwood beard balm and the sandalwood oil. I love it. It's good stuff. So that's n64josh.com/beard. All right, let's get to our announcements.
Hey, listen!
Guys, my book, Another Castle, is available at n64josh.com/anothercastle, and the first chapter is available for free. So if you want to check it out, go ahead and do that. And let me know what you think. We got Mario Golf Tournament happening on 3DS, okay? Discord has all your info there. Our weekly Mario Kart tournament is going on. You just got to find at least one other person to race with, and you can get those races in. Smash Bros tournament, second Saturday of each month. We have one coming up here in February, so stay tuned for that. You can go to n64josh.com/smash tournament for all the info there. And we do this show live on twitch.tv/n64josh Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then, as you can tell, just kind of whenever. So we're putting out a lot of shows. And yeah, this weekend's gonna be a little different. I don't think there'll be a show on Thursday because I will be flying into Oakland for Genesis 6. Nightcrawler and myself will be competing in the first Smash Major, which will be a ton of fun. Really looking forward to it. So but stay tuned. Like, I'm still gonna be putting out, there's gonna be a lot of content coming out, especially Smash related stuff. So make sure to stay tuned to the Smash Bros cast and my YouTube channel for that. And speaking of YouTube, guys, I think 7 or 8 videos went up tonight. Just all night I've been working on uploading shows and YouTube videos. So it's been a very, very busy evening. But you can subscribe at youtube.com/n64josh. With that, we're going to move into our reviews and impressions. Here we go! All right. Mel, you've been playing a little Travis Strikes Again.
By a little, you mean a lot? Yeah.
Oh.
That's what it mainly been playing. I finished it a couple days ago. And to be honest, I just been thinking about it a lot because there's some things I like about it, but then there's a lot of things I don't. But I think at the end of the day, I do like it, but it's for the reasons of knowing knowledge of other Grasshopper games and knowledge of Suda himself. I feel like if that wasn't with me, I wouldn't be as into this game, kind of thing. Because, again, this is a spin-off. This isn't like the mainline games. So going into this game and thinking like that is not going to go well for you.
I totally get what you're saying. I have like zero draw to this game. I wasn't overly impressed with it. It controlled smoothly, but the game overall had kind of a clunky feel to it. And because I don't, the characters, I have no draw to them whatsoever. So I was just kind of like, okay, this is what it is.
Yeah, because it really wants you to click with these guys, but in order to click with these guys, you have to like really play like the other stuff. Because like when you did your first look, you had the new opening scene. I didn't see that because they just put it up that day. And, I was freaking out, but like I was literally the only one freaking out because I knew like the knowledge beforehand. Everyone else in the chat was just like, okay, this guy, just talk to him. okay, no big deal. But I was like, no, that's Dan from Killer 7. Oh my god, that is amazing. But again, if you don't know that, you're not gonna get anything from that. That's just some random guy to you. But to me, I'm like, hey, he's trying to like make a Marvel universe, like combine like all of his stuff together. So I was getting hyped for that. But like most people are not gonna get that, you know? And even fans of No More Heroes, most of them are probably just fans of just the No More Heroes series itself. So again, you know, that's still kind of lost to them. Because there's a lot of references to his past games. And I played all of them but one that's was referenced. And one of the games itself is pretty much an entire reference to another game and its history. And I knew about the history of the game. So it was very interesting because he was pouring out like his frustrations with it through the dialogue and through the story and, you know, through the gameplay and how it changed. But that's going to be lost upon everyone who plays this. And some people like, hey, you should try. When it also has regular problems. Like some of the levels are just way too long. Some of the combat is going to be seeming lacking if you don't go out of your way to collect skill points. I mean, the skill cards. If you don't explore, you're going to get like the most boring set of skills. You can change and mix them and stuff like that, but if you don't get the good ones, like you're not going to find your own rhythm and make your own satisfaction. Because in the mainline games, you get instant satisfaction just from pulling off a finishing move. With this, you kind of have to find a combination of moves and a combination of how to do them, when to do them to get something great, which I did. You know, I did multiple different ways and times. It's just, I know most people are not going to do that. They're going to do the most simplest move because it's a beat 'em up. So it's just like, you know, you're just going to go one through it. So this is going to be very hard for someone new to get into, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like Nick and Chad is saying, like, I feel like everyone's hyping this game up without context. Like, why should I be excited? Can you answer that question for him?
They're hyping it up because the context they understand, they can't tell you because it's going to spoil everything. But even if they do tell you, you're not going to get it. Because you can play the other stuff.
so you're gonna get spoiled if they tell you.
If someone told me beforehand, like some of the stuff in the game, like I would have been extremely upset because I would have completely understood what they got, and then it would have ruined the experience for me. Because there is some pseudo crazy stuff without like references. It's just really lacking compared to some of his past things, like out of the wazoo. It's still some crazy stuff. It's just most of it's relying on knowledge of his life or other games in the Grasshopper, you know, universe. And there's also a certain section. It's after each level, there's a visual novel section, and I don't think a lot of people are gonna like that because some of those are pretty long, even though they're hilarious. It's just, I know what's gonna happen. No one wants to eat. They make that joke several times doing these things. But another problem I had with them is just some of the stuff that happens to them. I actually wanted to do. Like there's like one part where he has to like fight like 5 guys. Like I would rather fight the 5 guys than read about fighting the 5 guys, you know? But I know that's a budget thing, but again, I can't help but want that.
Sure. I get it. So overall, I mean, do you recommend this game? Did you enjoy it enough to say, yes, people should pick it up?
I really like this. Like, this is probably my second out of the No More Hero series, but I can't tell someone completely new to just get it, because I don't think they're going to like it. There's a lot of problems with it still. Like, if you want to try it, like, I would try to gamefly it, try to borrow it from someone. Because it's perfectly fine if you don't get into this. Because this is like niche with the niche with the niche kind of thing. And I think he knows this.
Yeah. I totally felt that. I was like, I think I even said it on stream, like, I kind of doubt I'm going to play this again, you know? Like, I mean, who knows? Maybe.
What you got to was like not even like halfway through like the first game. So I was like, yeah, he's not getting into this.
It really didn't pull me in right away. Like, honestly, it just didn't, like, and I love like hack and slash, beat 'em ups, that kind of stuff. This just felt like a not as good experience as like a game like Diablo or something like that. Like obviously it's not the same as far as like you're not going for loot and that kind of stuff, but just as far as just like running around and mashing the A button or the X button or whatever it was, like it really just didn't it didn't pull me in.
I also remember you had problems with, well, not maybe problems, but you didn't like how to recharge your sword, your katana, because you had to press down the thumbstick and kind of shake a little. I was like spinning the right, like pressing down with the left stick and spinning. It was like patting my belly and scratching my head kind of thing. I was like, what? Yeah,
what is this?
Because when he first did it, it was just the motion. There was like actually no buttons. He put the buttons in after some feedback, but he really wants you to do the motion because the motion is a classic No More Heroes thing. But again, you can't expect people to do the motion like on handheld or like maybe you just don't want to do the motion. And you're recharging your sword a lot too, so it's not like this is like once in a while. This is like a constant thing. So it's kind of grating.
How have you been playing this game? Have you been playing it with a single Joy-Con, like motion controls?
I've been doing half and half, actually. I've been doing half handheld and just half, like, split Joy-Con kind of thing, you know?
Okay, and which do you enjoy more?
Handheld, but I would actually like to do more just on the dock. It's just the stuff I like doing in the previous games, I can't really do in this one with the Joy-Con. Because, like in the first game, there's wrestling moves. You can, just pin somebody or, like, do like a body slam or whatever. But in this one, there's wrestling moves, but it's only like for bosses. You don't have to do the motion. You just input, like, the direction pad. It's not as fun. It's just, I really like the motion stuff, but you can't have all the motion stuff in this. You have to make it playable on handheld mode too.
Right.
But my handheld preference kind of ends over.
Right, for sure. All right, well, the other game, I played a couple other games. Utopia 9, A Volatile Vacation was interesting. It was kind of like a guess what? Roguelike. You drop in, it's essentially a twin, kind of a twin stick shooter. I was having a good time with it. It was pretty fun. You basically crash land on this planet. You have a gun and a suitcase, and you smack aliens with your suitcase, and clothes come out, and then you can shoot your pistol, and then you get different guns along the way. And if you die, the monster that killed you or the alien that killed you then takes all of your weapons and powers up, and then essentially you now have a boss. So as you progress near that same area again, you're going to have to fight said alien to get your stuff back. This game is under $10. I'm fairly certain. I didn't get a chance to see the price, and then once you purchase it, you can't see the price. So, but I believe it is. I believe it's coming in around like $6.99 or something. Maybe somebody in chat can tell me. I'm sure they can. And overall, pretty impressed. It was, full disclosure, it was given to me by the developer. So, but overall, I kind of enjoyed my time with it. It felt like one of those games, we say this often, but like kind of like that waiting in line, getting your oil changed, that kind of stuff. Like you can kind of just pick it up for a few minutes and play a couple rounds and then walk away from it. So chat is saying $6 right now. Is if chat can remember correctly, it's $6 right now. So there's where we're at with that. I played Sega Ages Outrun, which, man, the wrecks in that game when they both come, they just fly out of the car. They're just rolling on the ground. No big deal. The dude and his blonde girlfriend. Thankfully, they just get right back in, and it's no big deal. But that's one of those games that, like, when I play it, it takes me back to the arcade. Standing. Usually, the Outruns I played, they were a stand-up machine with the steering wheel, and you had to shift between high and low. And this one was no different. and personally, I enjoy it. I think it's good. And then I played a game similar to it. That's it's been out for a little while now. It's called Horizon Chase Turbo. It was Hopple from the Discord sent me a code for it and was like, "Hey, check this out. I really like it, and I need people to play with." So I jumped in. If there's any fans of Rad Racer or Outrun games of from that genre, this feels like a modern version of like Rad Racer, and it's pretty cool. You can level up your car. The better you do some different races. I handed the controller to my wife and said, "Here, try this game." And she went into full-on gamer mode. Was like, I was like, "I'm still here." She's like, "Hush, hush, hush." I'm lady at work here. I was like, "All right, okay." So she really enjoyed it, and it actually got us to pull out the NES this weekend, and I couldn't get my Rad Racer 2 to work, unfortunately, but we played some RC Pro-Am and things like that, and that it was because of playing that game. She's like, I want to play some of our older games, so that's what we did. And real quick side note on that, I let my daughter play RC Pro-Am. She could not control the cars for anything, and so we're laughing at her. I record it, threw it up on Twitter, and Rare retweeted it and then said they said we should do a series on all their 30 games on the Rare replay. So we'll see.
That would actually be pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, I'll see how she does with Battletoads.
Yeah, just jump right in.
So pretty cool though. Pretty cool. Chases Dragons from chat says 90% of everyone can't control the cars in RC Pro-Am. Truth. So, but Horizon Chase Turbo, pretty good. Really like that one. Can see myself picking it up. It's one of those ones you could do a couple races and then walk away from it, or you could kind of just lose yourself in it for a while. It seems like there's a fair amount of content there. So, pretty good. But I think with that, we're going to get to the news. Okay, well, it is the day of updates. When did you say, Mel?
Yeah, like literally, it's just update after update after update.
Yeah, Smash got an update. There, a couple things for the Spirit Board. This is offline. You can now play Spirit Board with up to 4 players. Select the spirit you want to challenge on the Spirit Board, and then go to Party. Fighter to select the number of people who will play. When playing with multiple people, you will lose the battle if any player is KO'd. So keep that in mind. That's pretty cool though. I like that feature. I mean, the reason I like it is because when my boys were younger and we played through Subspace Emissary and Brawl, we had to pass the controller back and forth. So they would have loved being able to like take on a boss together or that kind of stuff. Like they would have really gotten into that. So I can see that being fun for people. The below spirits will now appear in the shop. This is good news for some people. Partner Pikachu, Partner Eevee, Dice Block, River Survival, Golden Dash Mushroom. Those were like exclusives, right? Yeah. So that's nice. If you were missing those, I was seeing some people in Discord post like they had like 1,392 spirits or something like that. I was like, what?
Yeah, like I thought it was crazy. Like I had like 680 like billion. I was like, man, I have a lot of. And then I'll see these guys. I'm like, no, I got nothing.
So, yeah, crazy. As far as online goes, adjusted the calculation method of global smash power, and then just general added the DLC fighter Piranha Plant. I believe if you haven't entered your code, you still have till the 31st. That's what they said initially, so I'm assuming that hasn't changed. Piranha Plant will become available for purchase as DLC at a later date. Here we go now. Pressing both jump buttons at the same time will now cause you to short hop. That's cool. Both jump buttons, I see. Fixed the issue where the KO score included your teammates' KOs when team attack was on. Game balance adjustments. You can see which fighters had specific adjustments on the official website. There's a lot. It looks like A handful of characters received a couple nerfs, some received a couple buffs, so it should be interesting jumping in to see what's up with that. And I'm not going to go into the specifics on all those because, like I said, there's a lot. I went and checked the list, and it's not a small number of adjustments. So nice that we're getting more update like patch notes, because the first few updates for Smash were little thin as far as the patch notes go.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it literally just said, "Hey, we updated stuff. Go find out." Now it's like they list by character. It's like, "Hey, this person has a better jump." I was like actually surprised when I saw it. I was like, "No way, this is not official." But it's like it's on like the official website. I was like, "Look at this, they're learning. Good for them."
Well, they did so well with Splatoon. I mean, Splatoon has these weapon breakdowns that are like it's nuts.
It's like 1/10 of the second faster for this gun. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, that's I'm gonna notice that. Yeah, thanks.
Exactly.
You can't tell me if like some guy's smash up, whatever his up smash is better. But now they can. So I'm thankful.
Yeah, it's good to see, because it's it's going to be useful for people that try. There's been people jumping into the lab trying to figure out what's different with their main, and now they can at least check that list and check those things and see how, because I mean, combos are going to be affected. The trajectory of the way people are, like Mario's dash attack, for instance, when it lands, it changed the launch angle. So I don't know what that means, because sometimes I can combo out of that thing. I can get a combo going with it, or get a spike with it if there's no movement from the opponent. So is that still going to be the case? I'm not real sure. I gotta go test it. But sometimes that stuff's so minimal you wouldn't even notice it without having those notes. So it's nice to see that. As far as updates, we're not stopping. ACES getting an update. Added court selection screen to free play and swing mode. This is all good stuff that unfortunately should have been there from the beginning. Kind of strange that some of this stuff was missing. Co-op challenge Boo Hunt returns until March, and you can acquire 3 different colored Boo visors, and there's some photos of that. This is the one. Why was this not here from the beginning? Added the hosted match mode, which allows players to easily compete against each other in singles matches through LAN play or online play.
It only took them like 7 months, but we got it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it was pretty cumbersome trying to find matches. I mean, once you figured it out, it wasn't the end of the world. But like, remember the first few times trying to figure out how to even play together?
We had to like refresh the button like 4 times because it wouldn't show like the other person. It just wouldn't.
Yeah, so I'm excited to jump into this and see what it's about and be able to give you guys a little more details on it. But good on them for sticking with ACES, And I hope they can. I hope, because I know a lot of people have kind of stopped playing this game, and I'm really hoping that there will be some changes that are good enough that will kind of get people excited about it and get them to jump back in again. So, yeah, we'll see.
Next month is Boom Boom also. So
that's right.
Boom Boom, he's going to be the February character. So I know, how exciting.
Out of all the characters, really glad the mid boss, the halfway, the mid.
Yeah, like I thought they were gonna do like Nabbit since New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. Like, oh, that's like a little fun advertisement, No, Boom Boom.
Not yet.
Maybe next December I get Nabbit.
Maybe. Splatoon 2 update 4.40. I believe that is the number. Hopefully I don't have a typo there. It is out, and it brings stability. The kind of exciting if you're a Splatoon fan. There are 10 weapons going to be making their way into the game from Splatoon 1, and one of them is the Famicom Zapper, which I love my zappers. So do you recall that game? That gun was in 1. Do you recall what the what the abilities were and stuff?
No, not off the top of my head. I can't.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no worries there. I'm curious if it's going to be, because I prefer the gray one, the right one, And
No. I have to use that one because they colored it wrong. Like they set up the wrong subs and specials, making me use the gray one.
right.
Like, I can't forgive them for that.
Hey, I understand. Pudding is saying, I thought they stopped supporting Splatoon 2. Well,
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
well, tell them what's happening in Japan.
Oh, in Japan, I think either this week or next week, they're doing like a free demo just for the week. So you can play the game online without having to have the membership. But like after that week's over, if you buy the game and like the membership, all the your data you transferred, it transfers over. So like, let's say I play and I get to like level 7. I buy the game. As soon as I start the game with the membership, I'll be at level 7. So like all your stats carry over. So that's really nice for them to do. But again, it's only for Japan so far. I don't know why they need the extra help to buy this game, but whatever. They got it.
I feel like it's one of those things that it's easier for them to say, we're not going to support this game after this point. And then if they're like, hey, this game is still selling, there's still a people are still playing it, and then they add more stuff to it, it makes total sense to me. It's much better than saying, oh, we're going to support this game for the next 4 years, and then no one's going to, there's only a small group of people playing it, So, and it seems like they want to sell more copies of it if they're doing things like that. And who knows, we may see that happen. Like, we don't, as far as we know, there's no major release in February, correct?
We have nothing.
Yeah, so there may be some things like that, like free, free Splatoon. And I'm just speculating right now, but free week of Splatoon, maybe free week of ARMS or Mario Kart or something like that. That really could just try to push sales of the existing library. And do you know? Did they mention anything about a sale like with this thing in Japan?
Not that I saw, no. But I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe for someone else. I don't think they need it in Japan itself. Like I can see we're getting this like maybe like a month or two later, and we'll have like $10 off. I'm not seeing too generous of a sale, to be honest. But
Right.
I can see it.
All right. Well, the Switch itself got an update. It's more stable now. 6 new avatar icons. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. They forgot to include Mario. And just as a friendly reminder, remember to update your controllers, your Joy-Cons. You can do that by going through the menu or just by popping them off the Switch and then popping them back on. And also your Pro controllers can be updated through the USB-C. So make sure you're doing that. And the last thing here that we're covering anyway, Metroid 4
we got an update on that, yeah.
Has been taken back to the drawing board. It's not going to be coming out this year or on the Switch at all. It'll probably be on the Switch too. No, we don't know exact date, but Retro is now involved, which is good. But man, it's really, really unfortunate that. Good on them. The series has had Other M wasn't like received all that well, and I think they want to make sure they do things right. So, chat is saying Nintendo announcement for Thursday Direct tomorrow ? So I don't know if that's happening or not. We'll see what chat says. They'll get to the bottom of it. But yeah, so this is kind of going to be our little talking point here too. So what do you think about this? I know you're not a huge fan of the series, but what do you think when you see this kind of thing happen?
I just feel extremely bad for the fans because I've been there many times with other games of this series, and I never got like an update like that. Like, I would honestly love to get something like that rather than just them stop talking about it, or just like, hey, it's canceled, even after showing me like concept arts, even maybe videos or little music clips, whatever. Because then I just latch on to that. I'm like, oh, this is what it could have been. It looked a little rough. I'm like, hey, give it some love. It could have been something. Like here, it's like, no, it was literally bad. We can't show you anything. Like, it would just be too harmful to the brand itself. And they didn't even mention publicly who was working. So in my mind, that's like, hey, they're trying to save some embarrassment for that team. Because, yeah, we have, like, through the grapevines, like, Bankai working on it. But, again, that's never been officially confirmed. Mm-hmm. So they want to work with them in the future, too. So, it's kind of like, do you want to step on their toes too much or whatever? And I'm sure they give them, like, plenty of chances, enough time. It's really just a bummer. Because, I'm picturing this, like, if it's something I actually care about. Like, if this was a Fire Emblem kind of situation, Animal Crossing thing, I would still feel that bad. I'm glad they're saying, hey, we can't work with any of this. We have to redo it. Because, honestly, for some of these past games, they tried to mix and match and save some stuff. It just came across as a mess, like Star Fox Zero. If they told me my choices were to restart completely or to mix match and try to make something good, I would honestly pick the restart completely option, because what I got wasn't really good. Mm-hmm. And Metroid right now is in a position to where it can really launch off. It just really needs this really good game, because it has some snaps. It had Other M, it had Federation Force, and then it had Returns. Returns did well. We have Ridley in Smash. People are excited about that. So let's build upon that. Let's hype it up some more. And now we have Retro back on the game, which is also another huge plus, because people love Retro when they did the Prime series. So it sucks waiting, because we don't know exactly how much they saved, or if it's completely gone. Because if they save some story parts, that saves them a good amount of time. But if they're redoing the story too, it's just oof,
Yeah, it is a big oof. There's, first of all, you're talking about, like, hanging on to a little tidbit of a game, thinking it's going to be coming to the system. That was me with the sequel to Perfect Dark. When Melee came out, there's a proximity mine, like trophies or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it was like, it was basically like, it was for Perfect Dark, and like I was holding out from buying an Xbox and playing Halo because of that landmine, or that proximity mine in Melee. And then Rare was purchased by Microsoft and all my hopes and dreams were just dashed to pieces. So
oh my gosh.
So it was a bummer. But like, a couple things, because a lot of people are like, hey, Retro's back involved, this is a good thing. I for the most part would say yes, but do keep in mind that this isn't the same Retro that made Prime 1, 2, and 3, right? There's been a lot of talent that moves on, right? Like, we know that there were devs from Retro that moved over to 343 and worked on Halo 4 and Halo 5, and you could see you could almost kind of tell, like there was a little bit of just kind of a vibe about it, and like the reflect, like, remember the Big Deal, like when you could see her face in the reflection of her visor in certain lightings, yeah. Right? It was huge, right? And
it's still cool.
That kind of stuff was happening in Halo, and just like, so not that I'm worried about it being with Retro. I think they're a very talented group of people, but it's just something to think about. Like, it's not the same teams. There's no way. And going back to Rare and talking about Perfect Dark, when the sequel finally came out on the 360, it was not even close to as good of a game as it was on the 64. even now, comparing those two games, as bad as games age on the 64, the original Perfect Dark is still better than the sequel. And so, like, I mean, I'm hopeful, but I'm still a little, like, I kind of just, I pump the brakes on the expectations a little bit, you know? And the other thing that I did a little bit of research on this because I'm hoping to spread a little hope. Okay, it wasn't long ago that we were in this same situation with Breath of the Wild, right? Breath of the Wild, and my dates may be a little off, but I don't have the notes right here in front of me. I didn't get a chance to get them in, but I believe Breath of the Wild was announced in 2013. I believe that was the case. Do you remember, Mel?
That sounds about right.
Okay, so I believe it was 2013. Then, shortly after, Wind Waker HD came out. Okay. Then Breath of the Wild was delayed. And then delayed again. And during that delay, we saw Twilight Princess HD come to be a thing. Would we have seen that had Breath of the Wild not been delayed? I would say probably not. So is there a pretty good chance that we're going to see the trilogy on the Switch, especially with this kind of delay? It makes the most sense to me. Like, why not give the fan base what they want? Give us some updated controls to be able to play handheld, be able to play on the TV with twin sticks. And I'm hopeful that they'll do that because Metroid Prime Federation Force, which I know nobody really liked, even though it wasn't that bad of a game. They just shouldn't have called it Metroid. Maybe it would have done better.
I don't know how much better, but they probably shouldn't have attached the Metroid IP to it.
Yeah, it was one of those games that, like, it played really well. It was actually really fun, and the idea of it was really cool. It's just being on that system even was kind of just an odd fit, right? But by the time that game came out, you had somewhat of a second stick on the DS, which I mean, the
some
nub.
people did. I mean, I didn't have that.
Yeah,
I don't have the nub.
so I had the nub, and what they did is they gave you the option for classic Prime controls or modern controls, and I don't remember what they named them exactly, but it was something along those lines, like a legacy. So if you wanted to play it like Metroid Prime, you could, where you had to hold down the trigger to aim, and then or you could play it like a regular first-person shooter. So I'm confident that we're going to see some changes that the series desperately needs just to bring it to modern times. And do we see online multiplayer and stuff like that? Who knows? It's pure speculation at this point. But based on what we saw with Zelda, I'm fairly confident in saying that I think we're going to see the trilogy make its way to the Switch. What do you think?
I thought we were going to get that anyway, since this is for, they want a story, but follow it. Mm-hmm. It's just, now I'm kind of concerned when they're going to drop this trilogy thing. Because, do you want to drop it now? You have plenty of time to play these things? Because we have no clue when this is coming out now. Or do you want to save it and kind of drop it to a little closer to when this game comes out? Like, maybe like a year before the game comes out? Or, like, do it now. Just get it over with. Because, like, I feel like when they did, like, a combo pack, they were trying to set it, but it's not too far off. He was like, hey, you have time to play these. And then he was 3, like, maybe the next year or the year after. It's just now with this, since we don't know how much they're saving, or if they're saving anything, I'm a little concerned when they're going to drop it. Like, personally, I think they should just drop it now, because I think it's done. Like, I think they've been working on it, because they went this out before anyway. If it's a connected story, you would have to have it out.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think now's a better time than ever, especially because we know that Metroid Prime 2, Samus Returns, was received so well on the on the 3DS, 2DS. Like, I think it's been long enough, since we've been able to play those games. I mean, Other M was the last game before Samus Returns, right? So I'm I'm right there with you. Like, let's release that thing this year. Which, I mean, who knows? There's been rumors and like box art leaks and things like that. Like, that may have been the case anyway. Like, even, you know, I don't know. I don't know how, like, I wonder how long the dev cycle was, you know, like, there's a lot of... I
honestly can't wait until, like, a year, like, years now, just us getting, like, little sneak footage of, like, this disaster first draft of Metroid Prime 4. Like, I can't wait for that. Because you know it's going to happen. Because I am so curious to know, like, what was so bad about it. Like, because you don't see this often from them. They don't completely scrap stuff. They try to save some stuff.
It was,
but they're like, no.
It was probably a Fortnite clone. And they were like, what are you doing? Well, this is what's popular right now. We're going to get the kids. Stop. Wait.
Can you imagine they had, like, little... Now it's like, oh, part of her suit, you know, just one part. You have to collect a whole bunch just to get like one little jump of like frozen missiles. Or you just get the missiles and you have like the attachment.
Oh no. Oh man. Oh man. So, well, anyway, here's to hoping we see something Metroid. Like, I'm definitely ready to. It's been so long. I would love to see just an HD remake of that first game. Like, that was such a great experience. Like, I would love to jump back into that world. So, you know, who knows? But I think we're good. We're gonna wrap this thing up. All right. Well, Mel, I know you have tons of exciting places where people can find you. You want to go ahead and let us know?
Yeah, like the Discord, yeah. All that fun stuff. Also, I'm on this other little podcast. We like indies, you know?
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
About little indie stuff here and there. Pretty chilled, laid back. We got some music, and I think the next episode is 5. That's going to be on Spotify. Oh, you guys who are asking. Just saying.
Coming to Spotify. Love it. It's a good show. I've listened to a few episodes myself, so definitely worth checking out. That's We Like Indies. Not We Love Indies, not Get Indies Pants, but we...
In our hearts, it's that still.
We Like Indies. So, and for all of you guys that maybe didn't know, the music you're hearing, or the ambient sounds from Super Metroid. So, still on Being Human, but this is the Super Metroid theme. So, we're keeping it on topic tonight, even as we outro out. So, guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitch, all the places. It's N64Josh, and just so you guys know, we're coming up on NPC turning 2. Turns 2 in February. February 23rd is the date I actually set up the RSS and began recording episodes. So, pretty exciting stuff. It's looking like we're going to be at over 300,000 downloads before we hit that. So, that's all you guys. Thank you so much for that. It's crazy. So, pretty stoked for that. You want to follow this show? Go to the @NPowercast on Twitter. Show notes are available at n64josh.com/npc172. If you want to email the show, you got questions, comments, concerns, it's npc@n64josh.com. All right. Want to get yourself a free book from Audible? Go to audibletrial.com/npc. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, you can go to n64josh.com/OPC to automatically save $10 at checkout. I do have a Patreon if you want to get yourself an extra show for just $1. You get an extra podcast each month. Go to patreon.com/n64josh. Mel was mentioning the Discord. It's n64josh.com/Discord. Come hang out. That's even crazy. I think we're just about to 1,000. So see if you can help us make that jump over 1,000. Would be awesome. Lots of Smash, lots of Rocket League, lots of Fortnite, all kinds of stuff. Diablo 3, people playing that right now, getting some NES games. Mario Kart is a good time. Guys, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.